Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone had a marvelous Thanksgiving and was able to live on that frequency of gratitude and appreciation for all the good that is and that is in our lives and that we experience ourselves as. And I am coming at you from Divinity School, Divinity Ranch, a community where we come together to revel in and celebrate and more practically and accessibly and consistently experience the divinity that we are. So this morning, I just wanted to share with you guys a conceptualization that has been brought to me through this book, The Power of Kabbalah, by Yehuda Berg, that I would highly recommend. I've been listening to it on Audible. My good friend Fred recommended it to me. And I look forward to learning from all of you, as far as I know a lot of you guys know a lot about the Kabbalah and the Zohar and these things that are being brought into my awareness, and that if you're here watching this, you share with me. So please share resources and practices in your own what you have to give. So I've been talking, a lot about accessing the parasympathetic nervous system, relaxing, asking the Holy Spirit, going to the divine in those moments, finding release is another way to say it, in those moments of pressure, in those moments of tension. And I love the way that the Power of Kabbalah puts it. This is a practice that I'm really working on right now, and I love this conceptualization. So it's to choose, we're all here to develop as spirits by choosing to be proactive rather than reactive. And that's a training that happens, and that's a surrender that happens, and that training ourselves to go there, to seek release and submission, surrender to the divine, to be proactive in that, moment of basically what the Power of Kabbalah calls it is in that moment of resisting the urge to react. So resisting the ego fear-based reaction that we can always justify, that is automatic and more instinctive even, right? This is coming from that place of the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. And instead resisting that, and just in the resisting that urge, an openness happens, a relaxation happens, I lost you guys. A holy instant happens. Oh, this thing is twisting. Hang on just a second. A holy instant happens, and I need to figure out how to lock this thing. There's also a car about to drive by. So, okay, this is a perfect example. There's a car about to drive by. That makes me want to tighten. Dogs, come here. Rosalind and Peter, come here. Come, Peter, Rosalind. Can you guys stop? Thanks. Peter, come here. Rosalind, I wish you guys would just stop for a second. Rosalind, come here. Rosalind, come here. Thank you so much for stopping. That really means a lot. Thank you. I'm really sorry. Rosalind, come here. Come here, baby. Rosalind, come here right now. Come here. Good job. That is so good. Yes. That is so good. Good job. That's right. Thank you so much. So I'm going to leave that in here. That's actually a perfect example of what I'm talking about right now. So I've talked to you guys about this before. My dogs have gotten in this bad habit, it's just a habit, of chasing cars when they go by, when there are dogs in the car, which just happened. And so it's such a moment of tension and pressure for me. It's such a moment where I want to go to fight or flight, where I want to go to control, where I want to go to the sympathetic nervous system and react. And, whatever you just heard in the background, is my voice and my reaction of that situation. There was both reactive and proactive stuff going on there. And I can feel the the residue of that and just relax into it. Just choose right now to be proactive instead of reactive. Because, I'm also not going to react to the fact that oh, this video is ruined. You can't use this video now because that happened. And instead be proactive and say, you know what? I'm going to choose not to assume that and know that maybe this is bigger than I think it is. So thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. That just ended really well. I was able to stay calm and communicate, and the car stopped, which was really a thankful training moment for me, because that car was willing to stop and I was willing to be proactive in that way instead of angry and reactive. A positive training moment and understanding moment and basically release from that pressure happened with my dogs. So that was good. That was really good. So thanks for being here with me, you guys. That's a beautiful example of what I'm talking about. And thank you for being patient through that and being here to learn. And I'd love to hear of triggering reactionary moments that are coming up for you guys where you're being aware of that and just practicing a little bit more to consistently stay in a proactive place. And a proactive place is a place of the holy instant, is a place where we ask the Holy Spirit to take something, where we are willing to resist the automatic reaction that comes up, that fight or flight, that tightening, that constricting, that I have to do it, that this, and instead we relax, we ask the Holy Spirit for help, and we proactively realize that whatever is happening, the circumstance outside is not the problem, it's our reaction to it. Like, I don't have anything to learn about it being a problem about my dogs chasing cars. Now, there's a lot of objective reasons that we could find that for being a problem, but the problem has been my reaction to that and what this is trying to teach me about where I can be more proactive. And, part of it is my dad has a training collar that he has charged up for me. It's just that vibrates. And, maybe it's being more proactive with that, but it's just being willing to stop this pattern of reaction and come to a proactive place. And it's also, another way to put this, right? We have the proactive, the parasympathetic nervous, actually, I'm going to put that on the left hand. Okay. We have the proactive, the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation, versus the reactive, the sympathetic nervous system, the tension. And I think that another thing you could say about these, because we can describe them so many, we have more of the divine impulse, we have more of the instinctual animal impulse. Another way to say it is we think we know everything and have to control everything and figure it out. We're willing to say that we don't know. So being proactive is not reacting to how you think the situation needs to be fixed, but actually admitting that you don't know is also associated with being proactive, is also associated with relaxation and, willingness, submission, surrender unto the divine. Like, there's a larger thing going on here than I know. And again, things are not always as they seem. Oh, Michael of pure intent. And the Kabbalah even talks about that. I think it may even want to be one of the principles of Kabbalah. This book, The Power of Kabbalah, lays out 13 principles. I just watched a beautiful moment of water dripping down from a horse's mouth as he's coming up from taking a drink. What a beautiful day. There he goes. He hears me. Yes, bud. Anyway, so just coming back, right? The way that we come to these moments is by observing ourselves. And we are developing this mindfulness and these practices for mindfulness and presence, be it sighing, be it alternate nostril breathing. That's another good one. A lot of you guys probably know it, but I'll just do a round real quick, because it's really anything that brings us to presence, helps us in times of peace or calm to practice and be consistent with staying connected to the light what the power of Kabbalah calls the 99%, the light, that which cannot be perceived with our physical senses, even in times of distress. Like when my dogs are about to chase a car, can I stay connected to the light, rather 99%, rather than the dark 1% where of that constriction, and the 1% is basically that which can be perceived with the physical senses. Even in those emergency moments, can I stay connected to the light? So when can I remain proactive? So when we practice these breathing exercises or these moments of mindfulness, again, during times of peace or ease throughout our day, whenever we think of them, it helps us to remember that that's what we come back to when the pressure's on. We come back to that release that we've been practicing. And again, I talked about this in one of my other videos, but it's like what my friend Meredith taught me about her training her horse Freya. We want to teach our horses that in those moments of emergency, they go back to dropping their head. They go back to their own internal comforting, right? That is within all of us. That's it, is that place of comfort and peace is always there to be accessed. And to choose that rather than our reactive instinctual choice, to choose that place of trust, of willingness not to know, of feeling safe in the midst of anything, that is proactivity. So alternate nostril breathing, just to do a few with you guys here, can start by covering your right nostril, and we'll inhale through our left. Holding, closing the left, exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Hold, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Hold, exhale through the right. And you can continue at your own pace, always just switching nostrils when your lungs are full. So on an inhale. Another thing I like to do with alternate nostril breathing is sometimes use my opposite hands for it, crossing that energy meridian. Like crossing is very powerful for us energetically. And alternate nostril breathing, balances the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, the yin and the yang, the masculine and feminine and right and left sides of our bodies. So, if you notice yourself about to have a reaction, if you've gotten to that practice of observing to where you can observe that you're about to have a reaction, that's a great way to be proactive, to activate that proactivity or surrender unto the divine, is to just in that moment choose to go to a breathing exercise and just wait for the delayed gratification of choosing proactivity rather than the immediate high of being reactionary, but that cuts us off from the light, and so always comes with darkness after. It's like a short circuit. So I'll be talking more about this book, but I just wanted to share with you guys, again, thank you for being with me. I'm not even going to watch this video before I post it because this is really vulnerable, that occurrence with my dogs, and I really want to leave that in there to encourage you guys that we can be together in practicing this and getting better at this and choosing to dedicate ourselves to this, even in the midst of our most triggering, reactive sort of situations. So I still have a long ways to go, and I'm really thankful to be practicing on this path of proactivity, of relaxation, of openness and expansion and enlightenment and love with you guys. Thank you for being here, and I love you and I bless you, and I promise that each time that you choose to relax and release, that you choose acceptance over judgment, love over fear, light over darkness, that it shall be returned unto you. Perhaps we don't know how or when. That's the game of life. But trust that for every action and for every pro-action that we choose over a reaction, for every type of action that we choose, and this includes within each thought, each feeling, each moment of experience, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Trust that. And you are entrusted with that and empowered by that. We are out here reflecting more and more of the truth of the world, which is divine perfection, love, acceptance, expansion, peace, harmony, and balance. We have the free will to proactively choose to reflect those truths. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so thankful for you. Thank you, everyone, for your beautiful presence in this community and on this earth at this time. Thank you for choosing to serve now. And I'm so glad we're serving together. My fellow light workers, I love you and I believe in you. And the light that you are reflecting, it matters. It matters so much. You are so powerful and you are so divine. Peter, do you want to say bye? You want to say bye, bud?